Hello and welcome. I'm Darren. And today we are in Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. And what we are going to do is we are going to check out the performance on the 7900xtx. Now, this will probably seem a bit of an odd video to some people. Some people will understand. This is basically kind of coming from a claim I've watched in a video. I'll probably go into it a bit more. I'm not sure. I'm uncertain whether I want to link it or not. I don't really want to do that shit, but at the same time, I kind of thought it odd, to say the least. So, obviously, the internet, or the gaming community, the PC gaming community, fanboy wars, NVIDIA, AMD, you know the score. DLSS4 happened, and DLSS4 had its first outing release integration into Cyberpunk 2077. Shit. That might be a little bit noisy while I'm trying to talk. And a lot of people have tried it. A lot of people have been extremely impressed with it. Now, I don't believe that it was just DLSS4 on its own. I believe that there was obviously a big upgrade to DLSS4, but also to the ray reconstruction. And when you're using them both together, which you probably would be if you're on an NVIDIA GPU, I think the two of those combined probably made it an even bigger step forward than maybe if it was just one or the other. But being said, I also obviously have a video out about it. I will link more footage within this. I'll try to maybe do some side-by-sides. I'm not very good at that and trying to line up and all that sort of. I'm not a editor and all that sort of stuff. I just go on YouTube and talk shit. But as far as it goes, I've seen a claim today about how DLSS4 is basically a lie. It's a lie by the content creators that are getting free GPUs to lie, and that FSR at performance looks just as good on an AMD GPU as what DLSS4 looks on a NVIDIA GPU. I find that quite laughable. So we will look, because I don't mind, like, there's banter and there's fanboy arguments, and a lot of people say some outlandish stuff. And then I think there's a bridge that gets crossed when content creators are called out as blatant liars over something which I don't believe content creators like myself are lying about. I have not. This isn't a anti-AMD video. I don't want people to think that. From what I'm concerned, if you want to enjoy Cyberpunk, you can make it look very good, certainly on the 7900xtx. So this isn't an anti-AMD video. What it is going to be anti is FSR at performance, because it's not very good. Whereas DLSS4 at performance is actually quite good. It's not perfect. There are faults. I have gone through that in my Cyberpunk video. If you really want to find stuff, you will find stuff. You might not even have to look that hard to find stuff if you're pretty much committed or if you've got a keen eye. But that seems really loud. If I just got my volume really loud. Let me just make sure that my game volume isn't crazy, because I'm not sure if I've actually recorded on this. Ooh, yeah, okay. So before I blow everyone's ears off, let me just put that down. I don't know. I think just doing master should do it, but I don't want to take that risk. 65, that should be alright, I would have thought. Okay, hopefully that should be good enough. So let's quick go into the settings. So we are not using, basically all we are going to use in this video, we will replicate the same settings. We're not using path tracing. We are at 4K resolution. We're not using VSync or anything like that. And we are using AMD FSR3 at performance. Sharpness we've left at whatever it was set at. We're not using frame generation because that might just add other stuff and we don't need to use it for this comparison. We have obviously the ray tracing stuff, everything turned as high as it can go apart from path tracing. We're not going to use path tracing. It's at high. We've turned off the depth of field, lens flare, motion blur, all of that sort of shit. We're using the regular field of view. And then as you can see down here, we have everything at as high as it can go. I don't know how much difference this makes, but I noticed in all AMD users videos, they never turn that to Psycho. They leave it there. I don't know. I could have a look in a minute and see what impact that has, but I don't know why. Whenever I see them scroll down, it's never at Psycho. But anyway. So this is what we have. This is FSR3 at performance, and I don't need to move around to start showing any sort of issues. They're kind of blatantly clear to you at how low resolution this actually looks. This doesn't look 4K. Let's start with that. It's not, whatever it's doing, it's not resolving back to 4K, or certainly not what I'm looking at on my screen. Everything looks very blurry. Everything looks very pixelated. So you can kind of see the characters all look very kind of very low resolution. My car looks very low resolution. You can see, fuck me, I thought it was going to crash and pull my gun out. You can see that there's aliasing in the floor. You can see obviously stood here there's aliasing all around this barrier. You can see it through the floor. Everything here looks extremely low resolution. The cars back there are just turning into blurred lamps. And that's obviously just stood still. So when we actually start moving, things get kind of worse. Like, you can barely tell on movement the characters. Like, you can't even see that guy's head there. You can just kind of see. You can just see the collars of their outfits, and that's about it. You couldn't actually make out any details. Even closer, they look kind of low resolution. They leave quite a long trail behind them of ghosting. Like, watch this guy pixelate behind his feet. Obviously there's pixelation around these people as they walk past. That is an awkward thing to do, so that is obviously pushing it quite far. But I mean, the power lines, as we walked through there, were just like, you can kind of see them try to resolve themselves. Like, they're just breaking up and not loading in. And when they do load in, they look altogether quite odd. Everything in this distance is... Why can't can I not pull my gun out? Oh, okay. Everything in the distance here is just breaking up. Plants are... I mean, this game does kind of render in quite I didn't realise it rendered in quite that slow. That tree just didn't render in until we were pretty much on top of it. Like this down here, you can't really tell what it is. Now, apparently DLSS strips out all of the game detail, but it appears to me that FSR doesn't actually load the game detail, which is interesting. So, like, these cars all coming past are very pixelated. Like, I don't think this is even actually resolving back to 1440p. It's not resolving back to 4K. I think this looks very close to 1080p to me. It almost looks now to me. I would actually think that instead of running FSR and it upscaling, I feel like I'm running FSR at a 1080p output, and I'm playing it at a 1080p. As in, it's not actually attempting to resolve back to 4K. Let's just go and grab the car, take it for a spin. But all of this is very, very pixelated. Let's try and go in a city area and see. I don't know. Tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Am I doing something wrong? I believe this is right. FSR3 performance. I mean, if I put it to quality, that should drop us down to probably about 20 FPS, I'm going to assume. Oh, a bit more than what I thought. Far better image quality. Instantly you can tell there's better image quality, but I'll tell you what, it's still not good. For 4K at quality. It's better. These cars now look... The cars now look a bit more like they are... It still doesn't look like 4K to me, though. This, to me, doesn't look like a 4K image. But it's definitely working, because it did make a big improvement. So, let's go back. Yeah, like now everything just looks low res. Everything looks low resolution. When you I was going to say when you kind of get close to it, it looks better, but I don't think it actually does. Because I'll tell you what it does. It's like all of the fine detail, it thickens, if that makes sense. So anything that would be a fine line becomes a thick line. Almost like those power lines do. Those should be a fine line, certainly at that distance. But they're replicated back thick. I mean, you kind of look at... I'm not seeing anything on that screen that doesn't look 1080p. Let's go to a different area. I have no idea where I'm going. I don't play this game enough. Oh shit. Let's try not to run people over. Keyboard and mouse driving is... I mean, this entire screen is just moving. It's so unstable. It's... yeah. It's so unstable, it's actually a sight to behold. You wouldn't think concrete would move. Oh shit, no, don't kill people, don't kill people, don't kill people. Oh god. Oh god. I don't know where the best place... It looks more lit up over that side. Let's go to that side of the city. Oh shit, it's a cop car. Oh, come on. Leave me alone. Oh, that was actually pretty good keyboard control, I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty impressive. No!
Don't rub me.
You're dead. I'm sorry. You're okay, you're okay. Oh, that guy looks like maybe he'll kick my ass. I want to go to a good area, but I don't really know where's a good area to go. I mean, look how low res everyone looks. I don't get it. I don't get what I'm not seeing. That this doesn't just look absolutely terrible. Look how blurred that person is. They're not even that far away. Is this a good area? Have we got quite a lot of stuff going on here? Oh my god, look at that building. All of that is just Shimmerfest. This tree's all shimmering. I don't even know what that is down there. I think it's a tree lit up behind it. That's going to be awkward. I mean, that grass shouldn't be doing what that's doing. I don't think there's any point going much further than this. If this isn't kind of obvious. I don't really know what is. So we'll end here. This is probably an area that... This isn't the best area in this game by far to be, but you can see there's a lot going on. Like all those signs down there are flickering, all that building is just flickering the whole way along. But I wouldn't say it's the flicker. I don't think like, look at that person walking across there. That isn't 4K. That isn't looking anything like 4K. I don't think that's looking like 1440p. I reckon 1440p native would look superior to that. So we are at 4K. But I actually reckon... I'm going to actually go out there. I actually think if you played this 1080p native, it would look better than this. And that is a big problem for an upscaler because it's not doing what it should be doing. It's not resolving. It's supposed to obviously use the base of the 1080p but then render to a 4K image so you get the performance as if you were running 1080p, but you'd get the visuals of 4K. Now, I'm not going to say that we're not asking a lot of it, because we are. Like, performance level upscale at 4K is still a hard task, but that car in front of me, that purple blob, I'm sorry, but that just does not look good. I don't think this looks very good at all. So we'll leave it there, and then we'll swap over systems. We'll get on the NVIDIA GPU, and we'll set the same things. We will be using ray reconstruction in the NVIDIA GPU, because we've got ray reconstruction. Why wouldn't we? But we'll set everything else. We won't run a path trace, and we'll run the same settings. and we'll have a look and see how it compares. So let's check that out. So we're back. Well, quick run through the settings. So this time we are on the RTX 4080. We are at 4K. We are using DLSS super resolution. We are using the transformer model, and we are using it at performance. Frame generation is turned off. Ray tracing is on at psycho. We have path tracing turned off. Crowd density is at high. Field view is at whatever it was, standard. We haven't messed with it. Motion blur is off. All of this stuff is off. And then everything else is on. Everything is as high as it can go. We're at psycho. There we go. So this is DLSS performance. And instantly to me, how this comes across on YouTube, I don't know. Instantly to me, the difference is phenomenal. So the one thing that you could say is graphic style nowadays, this game does look a bit aged. So we can accept that. You can see the characters across the road. You can see the details in them. They've not turned into, like, you can see that guy out there. You can see a texture on his shorts. The cars all look like that car looks high resolution, crisp, clean. That tree out there is rendered normally like a tree. You can make that out. That grass is stable. There's absolutely nothing bad going on there. You look at this building, and there is no shimmering. There's no shimmering in the distance. You can see all the details in all of these leaves. It's all clean and crisp. Details in this grass. It's all clean and crisp. The details of the bark of the tree. You can see all of this like patterning through these windows. It's all there to be seen, and it's all completely stable and clean. And this is at DLSS performance. I don't know what to say. There is no image. There is nothing that is getting lost. The quality of this image, I don't know why. I mean, what is getting stripped from the detail? What is getting stripped from the... Look at all these textures. Like, if these were causing shimmering and they were now not there anymore. So say, for instance, they were no longer shimmering because they were no longer there, because the only way to get rid of the shimmering in these patterns was to actually remove them. I could understand that there would be an argument that DLSS was removing the details or stripping out the details, but that's just not factual. It is not factual. I mean, you can see the fine lines in these palm trees. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. It's DLSS performance. It's not going to be perfect. But it's pretty bloody good. Let's be honest. It is pretty bloody good. I mean, we can go to quality. You will see. I don't think the difference between now quality and balanced is probably unrecognizable to most, in the most part. I'd probably say quality over performance is it that noticeable? I mean, I don't know what I'd have to be looking at to make it actually much more noticeable. I mean, we were stationary before. We'll put it... Oh, yeah, sorry. I was looking at you and I kind of pointed my gun at you. You could probably say there was a little bit of something that was kind of resolving. Like these grates, you can see kind of try to do some resolving. And it probably did it a little bit more. I didn't try it, admittedly, on... Like, obviously this on movement is fine. There is absolutely no issues. You will get like a little bit of light flickering through those. So you can see it will do a little bit more at performance. That seems to be quite a bad scenario. But it's not like these things here are doing anything particularly crazy. It's not going blurry. The character details compared to... I mean, you can see everything. And I'm not going to say Cyberpunk has the best... What the... the best detailed characters, because it doesn't. Like I said, it is a game that is slightly aging, but I mean, look at it. This is at performance upscale. The difference between what we've just seen, you can see those resolve like that. When you're playing the game, like obviously these things here. So, I mean, you're talking a really, really, really hard object to ever try and reconstruct, especially at this distance. You can see there where they're there, look. But I mean, the difference on the clarity of this compared to what we were just looking at is night and day. It is absolute night and day. And the cars just actually look... Stop. I'm going to get run over in a minute. And look at the cars. They suddenly look like they're 4K cars. Like I said, this tree looks fine now. I can see why it's probably really struggling with FSR, because there is a moving hologram behind it. And I assume FSR did not know what to do with that. But probably the worst thing that I can see is this, which I don't know. What is that? Oh, is that because it's picking up the light? I think that's just because it's picking up a... I don't know. I don't know if that's because that's trying to pick up a light source. I mean, you do get that a little bit in here. Those out there look incredibly stable. So I'm assuming it's when it picks up a light source. I'm pretty sure when you put on path tracing, it doesn't do that anymore. We'll check it in a minute. But the difference is night and day. It's just night and day. There is no arguing it. There is absolutely zero resemblance. Zero resemblance between this and the clarity and the detail of this versus FSR. Absolutely, completely night and day. So if we go to, I just want to see if, can I turn path tracing on? I don't have to restart the game, do I? Does that stop? Yeah, okay. So path tracing stops the weird lighting issue. I mean, path tracing, Jesus Christ, what a difference. What a difference. Obviously, we are losing some performance here, around about 10 FPS because I'm screen capturing, so we generally hold about 60 FPS with path tracing and then we'll throw frame generation on top, which is fine. It runs really good. But, I mean, I don't know what to say. This, compared to what we were running on the other one, is absolutely night and day difference. We'll jump in the wagon, we'll have a quick little drive down the road. If I can remember how to get the wagon. There. Let's get the hoon. Let's get the hoon. Where's my hoon? That's handy. It's stable. The floor's not shimmering. Nothing is shimmering. Just a perfectly stable image. So, I mean, admittedly, we are running path tracing. So, let's quick turn that off. Because path tracing does clearly make a difference. There's obviously like a lighting thing that goes on in this game with which path tracing does a really good job of fixing. Oh shit. No, get out the So, what do I say? Completely different experience. Yeah. Let's just squeeze up here. Nope. Let's reverse up. Oh shit. I actually nearly did something pretty cool then, and then I completely screwed it. Yeah, of course it has. So, how do I get out? That's how I get out. So there we go. Oh shit, why is these people running? The cops haven't found me, have they? I mean, look at it. Why would anyone say that it strips out the details? Look at the details in his leather jacket. I didn't get my gun out. Did I get my dick out? I didn't get my gun out. I definitely didn't get my gun out. So I'm not quite sure what that was about. I don't know why everyone's freaking out. Is it because they're over there? Maybe it is. I mean, you can even see... Fuck me, is that a bullet that just flew past? I saw a trail of something fly past. You can even... Yeah, there is bullets flying past. Really big ones. Really big slow ones. I mean, you can even see like that fence over there. At performance upscale is holding up pretty damn good. Like that. I'm not about to swap over systems again because it's a nightmare having to unplug everything and then replug all my USBs and all my stuff back into the other system. But that fence wouldn't hold up at FSR. Not at performance. Look how clean that looks. So that's it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's being said. The AMD GPU is very good for what the AMD GPU does. So this isn't a fanboy warring or anything of those descriptions. This is basically my reaction to a video I watched today saying that FSR at performance in this game looks as good as DLSS4 performance in this game, and actually DLSS4 strips out details that the AMD GPU doesn't strip out. Apparently the AMD GPU creates fuller pixels. The pixels are fuller on the AMD GPU. I can't remember what the other one was. There was another analogy which has passed me now, but I mean, you can still see those guys crossing that road at this level are still pretty detailed. You can see detail in like that chunky guy's trousers. The one in front, the one behind doesn't have any details, but do you know what I mean? You can see everything about them. You can make out every individual kind of item of clothing they're wearing, even to that person crossing the zebra crossing over there. So the difference in this to how FSR was at this level is absolutely night and day. Absolutely night and day. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll let you people decide. You can all make your minds up. I'll throw them both in. I'm not sure if I'll do any side-by-sides because I'm not sure if I've got any side-by-side content of that much that would match up. But I don't think I need to run them side-by-side. I think if you watch from one to the other, you can see the difference is... All the bullets flying past. I think the difference is so blatantly obvious, there is no reason for me to do a side-by-side. I love the signs in this. They always look so good. So, there we go. I'm going to leave it there. If you like, swing me a like. I would appreciate it. It does help me out. And I'll catch you in the next one.